I went to the pursuit of truth. So I was wanting to talk about autism. I've been watching Chris Peckham's new show about ADHD, um, and last year's one about autism, which are really insightful and has certainly opened my mind to things. But I wanted to talk about my daughter, who's 7 years old. She's a twin. She's been diagnosed with autism um, from a very early age, and her brother is neurotypical, but I think he might have a very small amount of autism like me. I'm undiagnosed, but I believe that I am autistic because of lots of things I've noticed in my daughter and watching these programs, realizing, oh, that's why I did this and that's why that was the case. And so what's come up is Sports Day. After long campaigning with the school, as you'll remember, on the Pursuit of Truth, they eventually adopted an idea of having their own class for the autistic children with their own teacher, which is probably in one of the letters that I suggested to them, the MPs and etc. And now it's come to Sports Day, and because they're in a different class than her twin, they don't want her to attend Sports Day with the rest of the class, but have their own special Sports Day because they think it's going to overwhelm her. But the thing is, last year, and I've got lots of videos and photos, she was perfectly fine. I think only at the end, when she didn't want to go, or I can't remember whether that was the case or whether they just moved her because they sit down and listen to the teacher and says, well done. And I think they just thought it was best just to take her in rather than, but yeah, obviously Alina does have a problem with transitions. And even if they're their own special one, that's still going to happen. That still happens when we go to the park or wherever we go, So it's not a reason not to do it. And then, the Senko, who's meant to be the person following the Disability Act 2010, the person, trying to be the most inclusive, is the one always telling us that, oh no, she can't do that because she might get overwhelmed. And when, we say, well, we'd rather she does it, and say, well, there's not going to be, there won't be the teacher that's normally there to assist her, you'll have to do it type thing. I don't know the exact words because my wife has translated the conversation to me, but that kind of thing. And I mean, that goes against what the Disability Act and what, Senkos are meant to be doing. I don't understand it, why, because I thought was that she was fine last year, and she already doesn't go to assemblies. She already is not allowed, hasn't been in the Christmas plays. She doesn't get privilege cards or, gold stars or all the rewards things that the other kids get. She doesn't get invited to the parties that the other kids get. There's already so much against, and this is in the school grounds. It's not like they're going outside somewhere. It's in the school grounds. What's the problem? And she was okay last year, and if they'd asked the teacher that was with her last year, they would have found out that was the case. And like I said, I've got lots of videos of that. And even, my idea would be, let her do it. And if she becomes discombobulated or overwhelmed, then she can go in. And lo and behold, when the teacher who actually helped us last time, and is one of Alina's teacher, was asked about this, she suggested the same thing. Yeah, let her do it, and then she can come back. If not, apparently they want to have their own one, and I get that they want to have their own one, but also I get the idea of like inclusiveness of like, because the class she's in only has a few children, and she is part of the year that her brother Aiden's in. So like she was good in the Christmas play, the last one that she was in. She actually did like walk around the stage, without anyone helping her, and I was really surprised about that. And I feel sometimes when they do these things, when they include, they surprise you and they do them, and I think that helps rather than always thinking, oh no, they can't do it, or it's going to be too much trouble, or she might become overwhelmed. Goodness, it's on the school grounds. But it's really made me really quite sad and frustrated again of having to always, you always have to fight this, even with the people that are there that are meant to be the ones supporting disability. You've got words in the Disability Act that are meant to safeguard this, but it just same struggle as always that you hear other parents talking about when it comes to disability. Anyway, take care, take it easy. God bless and peace. So I'm back in it. I don't want to make a second video. I just want to tack this on the end of that one. The thing I just wanted to clarify that I forgot to mention when I was doing it that I wanted to do at the time was I know it's very hard for the school. I know it's very hard for Senkos and teachers and alike, like it is for us parents when there's a disability or autism, ADHD or Asperger's or whatever. And maybe it's a decision made, thinking in the best interests of Alina. That may well be the case, and it may be sometimes you always think that, it's against her, but maybe I think the thing is because I know that she was okay last year in Sports Day and I had videos of it. I think I did post them on one or two of them, her running or jumping on the Maguire twins, her YouTube page or their YouTube page, or even I think on mine. But even the teacher that was there, which Senko knows who it was, could have been asked to say, how was Alina last year? And how do you think she'll be? Will she be okay? Because I think sometimes it's easy when you that was part of the reason why I also didn't like the idea of I wanted like the classes to each have a autistic child, but I guess having their own classroom. But the problem is historically I know when I was young how that was, and sometimes that makes it easy then to exclude or to see them and let's just always keep them together. And so I get why the decision may be made, but I just feel it's just an accumulation of things that seems to always happen. And when I looked online of this, then I found lots of examples of parents saying exactly the same thing, and the exclusion part of it seems to be the problem, and not wanting to try and see if it'll work, make the extra effort, and like especially because the Act 2010 says about making accommodation and etc. Take care, God bless and peace.